Good morning, everyone. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the video forecast discussion for Wednesday, the 16th of April, 2014. What a day. What the last 48 hours has brought us here in April is just outstanding. We had 80 to 82 degrees across the region over the weekend, 70s along the coast, and then winter returned overnight after heavy rainfall. Yesterday we can see on the Google mapping anywhere from a quarter of an inch all the way up to amounts of over 2 inches of rain across portions where the rain just came down in buckets across the region in waves as the cold front approached yesterday. And then on the other side of that last night, we had snow. And the snow, as of 6:28 this morning, we have amounts of a half of an inch, a trace, even an inch or two across portions of the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area this morning. Yesterday's rain also brought some strong winds across the region and probably some power outages. We had a power outage here briefly at the weather station overnight, and that caused me to have a strong delay on the computing this morning. You can see winds gusting in excess of 40 to 45 miles per hour across many of the regions here as the squall lines of rain moved through the region last night and then transitioned over to snow last night as well into early this morning. How dynamic is the cold front? Look at these temperature changes in the last 24 hours. Temperatures anywhere from 20 to 30 degrees difference downward in the trend over the last 24 hours east of the Ohio River Valley as the strong cold air advection continues to pour in this morning. These, my friends, are the current temperatures this morning. Look at this. This is not what we saw 24 to 48 hours ago. Wantage this morning's at 22. Temperatures are in the upper 20s to low and mid 30s across the region. And winds, chills this morning. With those winds are making it feel like they're in the teens to the mid and upper 20s across the region. And we still have some wind gust across the region too, if we can pull this up. We still have wind gusts this morning into the 20s across the region, and the wind speeds this morning also on the light side, but they're also from the northwest with some strong gusts right along the immediate coast as well. Surface map this morning from Kamala Cod for the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. A few scattered low clouds across the region as the cold air advection comes in on northwesterly winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Some of those winds are gusty too. Temperatures this morning anywhere from the upper 20s to the low and mid 30s. There's a few exceptions here. Mount Pocono's at 18, Avoca Stratton's at 23. Most temperatures are climbing despite with the sun angle this morning, despite the chilly air that's in place. And the winds are still quite gusty this morning, but it's going to be a nice day, but albeit a much colder one and below normal. So we went from 20 degrees above normal 48 hours ago, and now we're about 20 degrees below normal for this afternoon. But the good news is things will continue to improve. After all, this is the middle of April and not January. And with everything that's going on, we've got lots of watches and warnings across the region, northeastern New Jersey into New York City and most of Long Island, southeastern New York's Hudson Valley into the south shores of Connecticut. We have freeze warnings, and these freeze warnings are into effect until 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning for the Hudson Valley and Connecticut. They're in effect also for northeastern New Jersey until 10 a.m. this morning as temperatures are below freezing, as we just showed you. And we have freeze warnings in effect for central and coastal New Jersey, southwestern Pennsylvania, all of southern New Jersey until 5 p.m. this evening. On the waters, we have as well gale warnings in effect until 12 noon this afternoon for choppy seas and strong northwesterly winds. Gale small craft advisories on the south shore and east ends of Long Island until 6 o'clock this evening. Small craft advisories on the north shore and south shores of Connecticut here, north shore of Long Island, and this is until 2 p.m. during this afternoon. And believe it or not, we still have some flood warnings in effect until Wednesday evening for parts of interior Connecticut's rivershed waters as well. Quite a difference this morning in the streamline analysis. Here's our cold front now, well off the coast, a northwesterly flow centered around high pressure across the southern Great Lakes and the Ohio River Valley. That will be spreading east with the huge ridge over the forecast region over the next 24 to 48 hours. Morning surface map from weatherono.com. A digital atmosphere software shows the cold front now off the coast. All the precipitation exiting southern New England's coastal waters. High pressure centered over Ohio will begin to spread east across the region. If we look at the United States as a whole, this large ridge of high pressure will be in control of our weather over the next 48 hours. A warm front to our west will bring the chance of precipitation later on during the week into early Saturday morning before more high pressure comes in. For the aviational weather deck, VFR conditions across the region this morning. We have a few scattered clouds at 20,000 in Newark, scattered at 4,000. Visibility is better than 10. The winds are gusting out of the northwest at 21, gust up to 29 miles an hour. Temperature as the sun comes up this morning at about 7 a.m. is at freezing, and the humidity is 56%. Dew point is 18. That's quite dry air in place. A few scattered clouds or broken clouds later on this morning, and then a few scattered clouds this afternoon. The big story today will be the gusty northwesterly winds early at 15, gust up to 25 knots with VFR. Visibility is better than 10 miles per hour. The winds will begin to slacken off and then head into the northeast late tonight into early tomorrow morning as the center of the high moves off the coast. A few scattered clouds, VFR conditions, and visibility is better than 10 miles. For Philadelphia, same story. Right now it's 31 degrees at 7 a.m. this morning. Dew point 12. The wind is northwest at 12. Overcast conditions, a few clouds at 15,000 feet. And we'll find scattered to broken clouds this morning. Gusty northwesterly winds at 12, gust up to 18 knots. Winds shear around or veer around to the northeast tonight into early tomorrow morning with some few scattered clouds at 25,000 feet. And basically lighter winds as the center of the high moves off the coast and VFR conditions. NamWRF composite reflectivity forecast product from Penn State's eWall site shows the scattered clouds and broken ceilings exiting this morning. Skies becoming mostly sunny with winds out of the northwest dying down as the center of the high moves overhead and then offshore. And this will mean an onshore flow develops across the region tonight through tomorrow. Even on Friday, temperatures are going to be below normal. Normal temperatures are around the lower 60s. The good news is that the atmosphere will be pretty clear. Find clear skies. Radiational cooling tonight. That's why the freeze and frost warnings might be in effect for your local area. Please bring the vegetation inside, the sensitive vegetation. The hardier vegetation will survive. And then we have an onshore flow developing across the region later Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon. Some stratus getting closer to the coast on the onshore flow, especially in the morning. Scattered to broken high clouds across the region during Thursday night into Friday morning. And we could even find more onshore flow with drizzle and low clouds across the region early on Friday morning. And this is as a warm front develops to our west, and also an onshore flow bringing in moisture from the marine layer from off the Atlantic. So the next 2 days are going to feature generally dry conditions, but then at night scattered clouds and then lowering ceilings with that stratus and onshore flow and keeping a chilly marine air mass in place. As far as temperatures go today, not going to get out of the 40s, and that is about 20 degrees below normal for the time, 15 to 20 degrees below normal. Tonight, freeze across the region, especially interior sections and hillier sections. And then basically the marine layer takes over tomorrow. Temperatures back into the 40s, which is still below normal. And temperatures recover basically by Friday afternoon. We could be looking at temperatures back into the upper 40s to low and mid 50s, which is again below seasonal levels with an onshore flow. GFS maps into motion, high pressure in control of our weather right through early Thursday night and early Friday. But notice, as we mentioned, the onshore marine layer here as the winds begin to veer around to the northeast and brings the chillier ocean air inland. And that means the clouds will increase from time to time, especially at night, early morning hours, probably later Thursday and Thursday night as a warm front tries to make its way in across from the west here, and the marine layer is still in place with chilly temperatures and stratus and low fog, even some drizzle not out of the question Thursday night, Friday morning along the immediate coast, and how far inland that makes it, we'll wait and see. And then, of course, everything begins to slow up, but by Saturday, another system approaches from the west, and another system here developing off the southeastern states moves out over the ocean. We're going to have a chance of light precipitation around here, some scattered nature on Saturday afternoon, and then skies should break for clearing as another area of high pressure begins in control on Sunday and Monday with scattered cloud cover and near seasonal temperatures. And then another system approaches for early next week, and this could bring the next chance of precipitation around late Monday night into early Tuesday. And then high pressure once again in control of our weather. Very active and progressive pattern, but nothing that is substantial as we've seen over the last 24 hours. So bring that tender vegetation inside early this morning and again tonight, because we're going to have some frost and freeze across the region, especially early this morning and again late tonight into early Thursday morning. We'll be back with the latest weather details and forecast weather information in video form on Thursday morning for Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Remember that most people are otherwise. You, my friends, are weatherwise. Have a terrific Wednesday, and we'll be back bright and early on Thursday morning.